I do have to cover something before I go over things, that this presentation is in no way financial advice or solicitation and is for informational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor or expert in smart contracts. The crypto space has innate risk. One can lose some or even all of their deposits. So please do your due diligence before proceeding with this. Now, I know a lot of you are already members, but again, no financial advice or anything am I giving on here. I'm just stating to you what has been launched and how to utilize the energy side of the business, okay? So I'm going to just get right into the back office of the contract here. So what we need is we need to have energy, and how you get energy is you use LGNS for that. So you can do one of three things. You can either unstake one LGNS or two, whatever, depending on how much you're earning through your spider web. Most people, one would be enough. And you could also take it from your turbine when you are claiming. You could use some of that to turn into energy. Or of course, you can use DAI and use the buy button here and just buy LGNS, however you're going to do it, okay? So those are the three ways that you can get in. Now, what I'm going to talk about is the minting side. So I want to go over all these aspects here because they are important to you, okay? They're all can make you a significant amount of money. So Claim A airdrop, right now, they do that every morning. It's already sold out for the day. So you would have to come back tomorrow morning and get in on this. I was on at 6 a.m. and by 8 a.m. it was all sold out, and I'm on Mountain Standard Time. So that would be between 8 and 10 a.m. Eastern. If you want to get in on this, you would have to get in. Now, it costs a minimum of 500 DAI to do this. Now, what happens here is I did, for example, the 120 days. So when I did 500, I got 1%, which was 5 rewards, 5 A tokens. But that $500 was then put into staking and drip feed to me over the course of 120 days. So you're just adding to your staking, but long-term with here. And you're also getting A tokens that are going to be dropping. They're not officially launched yet. This is in the pre-phase of the A token. Soon they'll be launched, and then they'll be showing up in your back office. And of course, you'll be able to find them on your wallet. The second one I'm going to talk about right now, which is the most important, is the energy. Okay? So the energy here, it requires a pledge. Now you can see my energy quota right here is 9.64. For every one LGNS that you pledge, you're going to get 2.59. It says it's 259%. You'll get 2.59 energy for every one LGNS. Now, this number does fluctuate, as does the burn side. Now, the pledge side is what I'm going to recommend for everybody. You can choose if you want to use the burn side, but let me explain them both. Okay? On the pledge side, you're actually, whatever you put in here is actually going to go into staking and drip feed. You can see one LGNS that I use in here is not a lot, but it does drip feed every 8 hours. So every epoch, it drip feeds to you and you can claim it. When you first put in the $1, you can see, or the one LGNS, you can see I just did one here prior, and it's got a warm-up lock period of 16 hours. So after 16 hours, it will then start to drip feed to you LGNS. Now right here, you can see the principal. This was one here, it's 0.0050 of an LGNS. The interest is 0.0127. When you claim those, what happens is it goes to the unstaked area. So you will sit and you will see them show up here. If it still shows 0, just refresh your screen and it will show up here. And you can then max and stake it. You can withdraw it. You can use it for energy, whichever one you want to do. Okay, so the system, the reason they're doing the energy here under the, and you'll also see under invite, it will show up right here as energy. Okay, the reason they're doing that is now we've increased the use case for LGNS, giving it some usability. And this is why you have seen the price of LGNS start to go up. I'll just load up Dex Tools here and show you. And you'll see it's a little eradicated now because people are, selling LGNS and converting to energy. But you can see the token is now at 1953. 2 days ago, it was at 1889. So we've seen a significant increase in this token. And this is when it started, when it launched. And you can see now this is the people buying and selling LGNS to use for energy in here. So going back to here, this is where it is. So now you can process. Now what will happen when I click that turbine, this energy works just like DAI does with LGNS in the turbine. So it will deduct this amount from this amount. I'll just do an example to show you. Okay, so I'll hit the turbine button. And what it's going to do is it's going to deduct that 0.778 from the 9.64. And so I'll still have energy left to go and process other things when they come through. So now it's down to 9.56, okay? And then I'll go to the turbine, everything stays the same here. So it's sitting there. If I did a max, I could go in and I could process this $1.53. I'm not gonna do that right now. I usually wait till it's 0.1 something before I do anything, but I could, okay? And again, this is the DAI to the amount of LGNS, just like the energy is to the amount of LGNS. So right now, what I want to do is I want to stop and I want to see if there's any questions. Please put up your hand and I'll unmute you so that you can ask a question. Any questions before I go forward? Okay. Did you say that you have, yes, maximum 100. That's it. That's what this room is. It's unfortunate, but that's it. Okay, so we're maxed out. Unfortunately, the rest of them are going to have to wait for the recording now. So, John, go ahead. Oh, I better unmute you. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, good, thanks. It took me a minute to find the raise hand button. So I was wondering on the energy, when you pledge the LGNS, it's earning interest. There's a thing there, claim principal, claim interest.
Yes. Yeah. And that, when you claim that, that's going to happen every epoch, so every 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go in and click those buttons, these buttons here, the redeem principal and the interest, so we're getting paid interest on it as well. Those both will go to your unstaked area. And then you can turn around and stake it. So it'll show up right here.
My question is how much interest? Like, how does it, I'm wondering how it compares to the...
Oh, you know what? That's a question I can't answer because I don't know that yet. I'm only going to share with you what I know. So basically, what is happening in the minting here, it is taking you, your one, and you're getting it at, I believe it's at 2.59 over the course of 120 days or 240 or 360, whatever you choose. Now, the interest, I'm not sure if that's based on what every 8 hours is or not. Again, I'm not sure of that. We're waiting for an answer on the interest right now to find out where that's coming from. But all I know is we're getting both principal and interest that is paid to us every 8 hours that we can claim.
Okay, and the interest is in place of the compounding that would happen otherwise.
I'm guessing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't even want to guess on it because I'm not sure. When I find out, I'll update everybody on that because we're still trying to figure out where this interest is coming from. This is something very similar, like if you've done the bonds back here, like the long-term bonds. if you do that, it does the same thing. So the bonds trickle feed out every day until the bond is paid out, and it has a principal and an interest that it pays out on that. So again, I don't know what that is. I will try to get you that information. Again, I'm just an affiliate like everybody else is. I'm trying to get all the information as best I can. Yeah, people getting mad because they can't get in. So I know it didn't answer your question, but I hope it kind of gives you kind of an idea that we're getting paid. I just don't know where the interest is focused on. Gershon, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So I am looking at my stake page, and you said that when you see unstaked balance of LGNS, so if I have enough LGNS there over 1, I can use it to buy the energy. Am I correct on that?
Correct. I have tried less than 1 and it won't do it. So 1 is the minimum it seems that it allows to purchase energy.
I had the same thing. I had some LGNS below 1 from previous.
I couldn't do it.
And I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Finally, I moved unstaked 1, and it did work. So you always need at least more than 1 in this unstaked balance. Doesn't matter where it comes from, right?
It's 1 or more, right?
1 or more, I mean, yes.
But one thing I will tell you is when I had in here, I had like in my balance, it was 1.0056, whatever the heck it was. When I tried to do max, it won't do it.
Okay.
So, but I could do 1.5. Anything after the 5, it won't do it. I don't know why, right? But I guess we just have to play with the numbers and see what it is.
Okay, so my following question is this, just in the same subject.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it came from. Is it from unstake or previously or however it,
as long as it's LGNS.
As long as it's there, you can buy it, right?
Yeah. As long as it's LGNS, you can buy it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, let me talk about the burn LGNS. This here, unless you're making an awful lot of LGNS, I wouldn't do it because 1 LGNS is worth, again, $19.50. If you burn it, you'll get 4.95 energy, but you're only going to get 1 A token. So basically, you're going to burn $19.50 for $1. You're not going to get any staking out of it. You're not anything because you're burning the LGNS. All that you're doing is getting a higher amount of energy. So I would unstake 2 LGNS, go in through the pledge, get like 2.59 times 2, but then you're going to end up staking that back into the system. But it will go. Remember, everything we do in here now goes long term. There's no short term. So that 1 LGNS you see in here, that's locked in for 158 days. And it'll pay you out. That's why it pays 0.0051. It pays a very, very small amount until it's all paid out over 358 days. Okay? So I hope that makes sense to everybody. This way here, you're going to burn it. So it's going to cost you 19 bucks to get 4.95 energy, and you'll get 1 A token out of it. So the choice is up to each individual what they want to do. I would rather pledge mine and actually have staking where it's paying me back through, so I can restake it again. So that's that part. Minting here. I have not done this yet because I have to have A token. So the A tokens aren't released yet. So we have to wait till we have the A token, and we got to use LGNS to mint them. So this part is coming. It's not really available yet, to what I understand, but we'll know more soon on that. So those are the 3 parts that we have of this. Okay. Hang on, I gotta mute everybody. Okay, Gustavo, go ahead.
Yes, my question is, when you unstake, I have several accounts. So when I unstake from the account that I have the most LGNS or LG, and anyway, so when I unstake those and it moves it over to my wallet, I want to spread that to the other 3 accounts.
You can't. You can't. Each account has to do it on its own. It's individual.
Oh.
Okay. The other thing that you guys should know is you only need to do that on wallets that you are collecting spiderweb rewards. If you are passive, this has nothing to do with you. You won't be collecting it unless you are self-referring, and then it would only be the self-referring wallet that needs the energy for spiderweb. So it's only for claiming your spiderweb rewards, nothing else. So you don't need to put them in all your wallets if you're not referring to those wallets. You will be wasting energy and wasting LGNS doing that. Does that make sense? So you were mentioning you had multiple wallets. So only the wallets that you are referring to that collect spiderweb rewards are the only wallets that need the energy.
Right. But if those wallets are underneath you and you're collecting 16% off of those wallets.
Yeah, the wallet that referred them, that's the one you do the energy in, the referring wallet, but not the ones that are underneath it because they're not referring.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, and the only other thing, like I said on here, if you are, even if you're not referring or anything, you may want to take advantage of the A token, but you got to get in early every morning for it. Because what this does, it's 500 minimum DAI to get in there. So $500, you will get 1%, which would be about 5 A tokens in here, 2.5 times whatever it is, 4 times if you go this many, but it's a 500 minimum to get in. And that $500 is also turned into LGNS that ends up in staking and will stake over the course of whatever that term is, 120 days, 240 days, or 360 days. And again, that has a principal amount and a, what the heck was it called? Jeez, give me a second. Interest. Okay, so it'll have both of these in there as well. That will pay to your unstaked wallet. So you then can stake it, do whatever you want with it at that point. But this is only if you want to get into the airdrop for the A token. Okay, so that's up to each individual. I did it because I wanted some A tokens. So, but that just meant my $500 was going to be locked in for 120 days, but drip fed every day, every 8 hours, which to me, I thought was worth it anyways, because I'm putting it in and compounding. So any questions on that? I know there's a lot of people trying to get in. I might have to expand my room. Canaries, go ahead.
Hi, Carl.
Hi.
My question is how you just mentioned that we had to get in on the $500 staking. You said in the morning
No, I never said you
time?
had to. It's an option.
Okay, excuse my wordage. I was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I need to make that clear that it's optional. I'm not telling you to go and do that. I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not.
that's what
I'm
the
sorry. I'm
minimum
not
is.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, I wasn't saying it in that type of way.
Okay.
If we wanted to get in, you said that we would have to get in the morning time.
Yeah, because it sells out fast. Like I said, I'm on Mountain Standard Time. I was on about 6:15 this morning, and the 360 was already sold out. You know, the 240 and the 120 was still there, but by 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, they were all sold out. Right?
So is there any way of us like knowing when it opens or?
I don't know when it
No?
opens. I was sleeping,
Oh.
so I don't know when it opens. So again, I'm on Mountain Standard Time. If you're on Eastern Time, check earlier. Check 6 a.m. your time. See if it's open. I don't know what time it opens on that, unfortunately. Okay.
And
I'll try and find out when that is. That's just something we haven't been told. This thing came out fast and furious and got us, kind of by surprise. And we didn't know that it was launching right away. We thought all this was going to happen in July, and it happened, yesterday? So it's crazy.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I'll have that. Go ahead.
Okay, how you doing, Carl? So let me the 500 deal there. So you get in there, you're gonna get paid the interest and a reward as well. They're gonna get both sides of that, and then you're also gonna get that amount staked, and it's gaining every 80 hours on that amount.
You're going to get drip fed it. So if you put basically what it is, I got like 26 point something LGNS when I put 500 in.
Okay.
So when I put it in, it'll show up here with those two buttons, and it'll drip feed bits and pieces every 8 hours to you until it's paid out over 120 days. It pays out just like the bonds do.
Okay.
Right?
But it doesn't automatically go into your staked amount, and
we thought it did, but it doesn't. It's sent to your unstaked so that you can choose whether you want to stake it or not.
Okay, got it.
Right?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? Trula?
Carl, can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
So I might have missed this. You might have already answered it, but ultimately, what's the A token going to be used for in the future?
The A token? Did you say? Did you say what is the A token going to be used for? Oh, you have to unmute. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, sorry. Yes.
Okay. So to what we understand, it's going to be a cross-chain stable coin. So it's going to be used in the new payment system coming, in the exchange, through the banking system that they're launching. It's going to be one of the core ones that are going to be used alongside LGNS. What the full functionality is, we don't quite know yet. They're being very hush-hush on it, obviously, as they roll it out, because they have a lot of people trying to compete with them right now. So that's all that I know at this particular time. Anthony.
Yeah, thank you. Would that mean then they would do away with tying it to DAI or the poly or anything like that?
No, DAI is always going to be part, because it's part of the functionality of LGNS, of the usability side of LGNS using the turbine.
Okay, so just knowing, yeah. But we won't go away from those. They'll always be there. At
no.
Okay.
The A token, LGNS, and DAI will be primary tokens in the ecosystem.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. Whoops. Sorry, I asked you to unmute by accident. Okay. Any other questions? If not, we'll wrap it up, and hopefully everybody has a full understanding. I just need to make sure you guys know how to do this. Now, I was just asked, can I show an example of unstaking for my account? Okay, I will do that, right? So just to show you guys how it works, I'll go up to my staking. So if I needed one for energy, I would just go unstake. I'd type 1, I'd unstake it, just like this. And then right there, it's in my unstaked balance. So I just want to show you my invite. So it's at, you can see I got 9.56 energy there, right? So I'll go back to Mint. I'll go to the energy, and I'll type 1 in here, and I'll pledge it. So what this is going to do, it's going to change that 1 LGNS into 2.59 energy. And then it's going to do another lockup down here, warm up. Every time you do that, it creates one. See, there it is right there. It created another one for 360 days. So now what has happened is I'll go back to my invite, and you will see that now I have 12 there. So it's added energy to my whatever my existing was there before. I think it was 9 something or other. So whatever I'm processing through my spider web a day, it will just deduct it from whatever this is. So you saw I had 0.07 in there. I don't know if that was a couple of days or whatever on this account. So I have plenty in there. So it'll deduct it every single time I go to process rewards until this is done. And then I can go back and, you know, unstake one or use anything like in my turbine. You know, I could use, okay, this is a half, I'd have to add more, but I could claim and then add the difference to that till it's 1 and then use it for my energy. So it's just allowing you to become self-sufficient eventually in here without ever having to go outside and add any other money. You're going to use all your internal earnings and resources in here to keep this functional. Lady V, go ahead.
I was trying to mute.
Yep, you're good.
Hi, thank you for allowing me to ask. Well, I really don't have a question. I just wanted to make a statement because when I first tried to unstake, I was stuck for a minute because you might want to let everybody know it asks you to approve first.
Yes.
If it's your first time.
Exactly. Anything you do in here, including what I showed you in the minting, will ask you to approve once. That's the system saying that you okay and authorize the use of this service that's in there.
Yes, and so I just wanted to say that because I was stuck for a minute. I'm like, it's not telling me to do that.
You just still have to click the button.
So I just want to let everybody make aware that so they don't have to be stuck like I was.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, LK, go ahead.
Hi, Carl. How you doing?
I'm good. You?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah, that question I asked you earlier, you know, in your group, your Telegram, about the rewards.
Okay, I actually didn't look in there, so I'll have to get you just to repeat it if you could.
About how our rewards, how it's going down. You know, it's supposed to be 0.3.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 0.3%.
Yeah.
Every 8 hours, and now it's down to like 0.2524 the last time I looked.
Yeah. So here's the answer to that, you guys. Okay, this is a living, breathing contract. We told you that. So it goes with the functionality of what happens with LGNS on the blockchain. So when people hold their coins, the whole ideology behind Origin is to help you break away from the governmental and banking systems and be able to be self-sovereign with your own money. In other words, create your own living, live off the money you create. So a lot of people are under the guise of that they need to hold their money and let it build. So when you're holding the LGNS in the system, what that does, it puts pressure on the percentages that the contract can pay you. So the actual percentage will drop. The more holders there are, the lower the percentage. When people start to spend, you will see that start to reverse. We've seen it a couple of times in the last 24 hours with people selling their LGNS and using it for energy and stuff like that, and it will go up and down. But if everyone decides they all want to be an investor and just hold, well, eventually that percentage will go down to a point where you'll be paid every 8 hours, but there'll be no compounding factor. You will have erased the compounding percentage. Okay, because you defeated the purpose of the contract. So we want you to take profits. And that's why when we were doing our calls and Sarah was doing the eat off the table, that's why, to encourage you guys to take profits, still be able to earn and compound, but take profits. So that's how this contract works, unlike anything else that's out there. So hopefully that answers your question.
Well, that goes back to, it's kind of like a catch-22, Carl. I mean, you got to let it build. You got to let it compound to a point where you can eat off of the table.
Right. And that's why, that's why we were using the 6 month and the year. It all depends on what your staking amount is. And then we also showed you that you could take portions. You don't have to take it all. You could take portions. You could take weekly, whatever it is you want to do, and still allow the compounding to happen in there. Also feed you and allow for the percentage to rise. So
right. I
again,
understand
it's designed for you to actually take a salary from your investment, basically.
Yeah, I understand that, but most people they're coming in with a small amount. If you came in with $5,000 or $10,000, yeah, you could start that in a short period of time.
Yeah.
But us normal people that are the low level earners, we're coming in with $500. It's going to take a while.
But that's why the percentage isn't locked in. If the percentage was locked in, we would be like all the other programs out there, and eventually the pool would run dry because it'd be paying out too high of a percentage based on the activity that's happening in the program. So that's what you have to look at.
I got you, Carl.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks, LK.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to Bitcoin Mike.
Hello, can you hear me okay, Carl?
Yep, sure can. Go ahead.
Hey, I joined a couple months ago, and I was in the Telegram group.
Yep.
And my Telegram name is, actually it was two names on there. It was Dr. Sleeping Money, and then it was Bitcoin Mike also, but I changed it to just Dr. Sleeping Money. But some kind of way, something happened and people thought I was spamming the group or whatever. And I assure you, there's people on here that know me.
Yeah.
It was not me, but I haven't been able to get back in the group.
Okay.
And I've sponsored people.
Okay. So can you text in the room what it is, and I will forward that off to, just do it privately to me in the room, if you can.
You mean in this chat right now?
Just in the chat here. I'm going to copy it out, and I will forward it off to Sarah. So to let her know.
I've talked with her some too, and I mean
Well, if you can talk to Sarah, I will tell her you're going to reach out to her and get you all straightened out. If you have her contact information, do that.
Well, what happened was we assuming we was trying to get that going through, and she would send Alvin, my sponsor, she would send him a Telegram link, and when it would get to me, it would say I couldn't use it. It was expired. So I don't know what happened, what's going on, but I'm going to go ahead and message you. I'm going to see if I can message you directly.
Hang on. Sarah's in the room here. Sarah, I didn't know you got in. Okay, because my room got full, so you got in. So here, I'm gonna get Sarah to unmute. Just give me 1 sec.
Okay.
Sarah, can you put up your hand so I can find you, please? There you are. Okay, I'll get you to unmute. Thanks, Sarah.
Hello, everybody.
I guess I have to expand my room again.
Well, I had a small amount of time in between my stuff today, so I figured I'd jump on to help support you, Carl. Yeah, I just walked back into the room and I heard something about the Telegram. And yes, re-message me. I think I figured out what was going on. But as you can imagine, I get inundated with messages daily. So if somebody does reach out to me and you feel as though it's not timely, it is okay to send a little jogger and I will let you know what the status is. We're all very, very busy here. So sorry about that. Reach back out.
There you go, Mike.
Okay. Yeah, that's all. I have other people that I've sponsored and I want to make sure they get support.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. We're trying to keep that Telegram as tight as possible. We are aware of the situation going on in there. So again, educate all your people. We are not afraid of this moron. However, it is our responsibility to protect people. With that being said, though, the admission tab on that Telegram group is back open. So people can go ahead and drop the names in there. And the current link to join, getting into pending status to get approved is pinned in the admission tab.
Okay. I just clicked on your link. I put and it says it's giving me an option to join your channel or something. It says 4,000 subscribers. Is that you?
No, I don't. I'm not sure what you have. Don't join that because I can assure you it's probably garbage.
That's probably the original origin.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that may be the one.
Do
where
not go into that group. It is bad.
All right. So,
Yeah.
Okay. So I put in crypto.
Nope. It's
Crypto
origins
mom.
of life.
Wait, no,
Origins of
you're
life.
trying to reach me?
Yeah. Did you tell me to reach you directly or no?
Carl said didn't you say you've reached out to me in the past?
Well, Alvin was going through Alvin because I couldn't remember. Y'all kicked me out the group and I couldn't never get back in. So.
Oh, okay. You know what? Yeah. Have I don't know if Alvin's here. Have Alvin reach back out to me. I don't know why